I was doing an area patrol through the Pine Top Country Club, and I roll around this corner. I see this horse in a yard, and I remembered I got an email. The Sheriff's Office Patrol got an email a week ago stating that there's a horse, injured horse up there. And anyways, it had a number to White River game ranger or whoever's in charge of the horses. And so I gave him a call, and it had a bad reception. I called him like 3 or 4 times. Hi, is this Lupe? Or Leo?
You have the wrong number.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Hello?
Hi, is this Leo?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Deputy Hartman with the Sheriff's Office.
Where?
Navajo County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah.
So I got an email about a loose horse up in the country club area. You've been trying to catch it? Yeah, I just ran across him. He's over here.
What's that?
He's over here off of South Blue Ridge Loop.
Uh-huh.
Did you guys, I don't know if it said to call you if we find him again.
Oh.
Do you need to come up here, or? He hung up on me. We got an email stating to call you if we get any more calls on it.
Uh-huh.
So it's over here in one of the yards over here off of South Blue Ridge Loop.
Okay.
Do you need to come up here? Try to catch it?
I'm looking for something right now.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Can you make it up here? Can you hear me, Leo? Leo. Killing me.
That there was a mare and there was another stud.
Oh.
They looked like they're about 2 years old.
Okay. So I called the White River guy, Leo, I guess his name, Leo or something. So I called him and let him know. So I know they've been up here trying to catch him. So I just let him know where they're at.
He was laying out here today, and he was favoring his left hind leg, and then he laid down for a while there. He had a little tough time breathing.
Okay. Yeah, they probably wandered down here from like McNary.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's possible. I'm just saying, I've been up in McNary and they let them roam everywhere, all throughout town up there. So they're just kind of used to it.
He hasn't done any damage. He just goes around eating the grass.
Yeah. That way you don't have to mow it, huh? All right. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, call us if he becomes a problem. Okay.
Okay. You haven't been a problem. Who's calling you?
Nobody. I'm just doing area patrol, and I just saw him and I stopped. I'm like, hey, there's that horse they were. I got an email about it, so I guess some other deputies have been up here had to deal with it. So anyways,
Thank you.
all right. You're welcome. You too. Thank you. And had a bad reception. I called him like 3 or 4 times and told him where it was off the South Ridge Loop, etc., etc. And again, lost signal. So talked to the homeowner where the horse was. He said he's there every morning and wasn't causing any damage or anything like that. So I just pretty much left the area. I'll probably respond to that email, let him know that I had another encounter with the horse and contacted the person from White River and notified him where the horse is at this time. And that's pretty much it. We'll see what happens after that. Hopefully they'll come down there. I know they've come down and tried to catch him, and they can't catch him. But
I'm Deputy Layton with the Navajo County Sheriff's Office. I worked here for a little over a year now. I grew up here in Lakeside pretty much my entire life. I moved away for a little while, but been here and wanted to serve my community. So when I wanted to get in law enforcement, we moved back up here. I've been married for 2 years now. We've been together for 8.5. We have a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old. So we have a very chaotic life, but it's good. I went to Blue Ridge High School. I went through there most of my school career. I moved in 6th grade, but been in Blue Ridge most of the time, Yellow Jacket through and through. Although my kids go to Sholo School now, so I'm kind of a traitor. I got into law enforcement. I mean, most people's answer is to help people, and I think that's the root cause of why I got into law enforcement. There were several other factors that contributed with that. Growing up here and just kind of getting to know the community, and my mom wasn't always on the straight and narrow, so I kind of got to see both sides of how this works. And so going different places with her as a kid, I'd see all these other kids in kind of sucky environments, and I would want to help them. Like, I'm living the same life they were, but I didn't register that. I was like, I should help these guys. Like, look how bad their life sucks, as the same thing is happening for me. But I just wanted to make a difference for people and be able to help people who couldn't help themselves. I always liked the idea of it. I thought I wanted to be a detective. I thought that was going to be my primary career choice if I could. We have like career day at school, and you get to sign up for a couple of them. And one of the ones I chose was to go to shadow law enforcement. And I loved it then. They brought in the canines and they did, drug sniffs and stuff, and I was fascinated at that point. And then I had kids pretty early, so I waited to get into a career after that, but I went to school. I started studying criminal justice and absolutely fell in love with all aspects of it. And then when I first went back to work, I started working at the Superior Court in Tucson. So I wanted to get to know all sides of the justice system as far as getting my education on that, seeing how the court side works, like the aftermath, what happens when we arrest people, and then, what happens after that. So working at the Superior Court was a really good experience, but I was still really drawn to being on the road. So, I was completely sure this is what I would do when I was 18. So I attended NALEDA here in Taylor last year. So I was the first half of 2019 is where I attended the academy. I got really lucky with getting in up here. I was still living in Tucson when I applied for the sheriff's office up here, and we had just moved up. It was 3 days before the testing process that I even looked at my emails, because I don't check my emails enough. Saw that they wanted me to come test, and I was like, oh, okay, gotta go do the fitness test. Not sure if I'm quite there, but we're gonna make it work. And I was able to pass those tests and the written test and my oral board, and attended the academy in January of 2019. So I like working with everybody. I haven't met anybody that I don't like working with. The sheriff is a really good guy. He seems like he's trying to make a lot of good changes for us. I obviously wasn't here for anything that people may or may not have complaints about, but ever since I've been here, I've been nothing less than pleased. I just recently switched squads from Sergeant Matkins' squad to Sergeant Fawcett's squad, and both of them were great supervisors, and I haven't had any complaints of being moved around. I like everybody that I get to work with. So.
Big question. Do you pencil on your eyebrows? Or
The important question is, do I draw these bad boys on? I do. Every day. And I get lots of compliments for them. That is the most important question. I think it's my trademark as a deputy, because everybody comments on them. So, got to be known for something, right? Charles Victor Sam 0 Porter Mountain and Blue Ridge Elementary School with a white truck. How long are you up here for your job?
I'll be here
Forever? What are you doing?
We're a roofing company.
Okay.
We just have a new office up in
All right, Marcus. Well, as long as everything checks out, I'll just cut you a warning for the speed and get you back on your way, okay?
Cool, nice.
All right, man. Charles Union Sam, date of birth 91. So, you can go ahead with your question.
Why'd you pull him over?
I pulled him over for speed. He was going 51 and a 35. He's not from here. He's out of town. So, as long as everything comes back okay, I'm just going to write him a warning for the speed.
Back keys and negative and valid. Time stop's going to be at 1842.
10-4, thank you.
1845.
He's up here for work, so he's not too familiar with our speed limits, and it had just barely changed back there, so. Alright, Marcus, here's your information. What? Oh, yeah, it's like a TV thing.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, so I just need you to sign this. It's not going to go on your driver's status or insurance. It's a piece of paper.
Am I gonna be on TV?
I mean, he hasn't seen your face, so technically not. Just the back of your vehicle. That's really all it is.
Alright, I appreciate you so much. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, like I said, just if you're going to Pine Top, your speed limit's gonna be 35 through town.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, man. Drive safe. Have a good night. We are going to Lakeside on Sponsor Drive in reference to a juvenile wanting to spend alone time with another juvenile of the opposite sex, and mom is concerned about that and requesting that we talk to him. So. Hi, Sheriff's Office. Did anybody from this house call about a juvenile? 13-year-old? Do you know if there's any juveniles that live over here? Next door? Okay, sorry to bother you.
Oh, no, you're
Okay, thanks. Next door. Hi. Oh, hi. Are your parents home? Mom, Dad? Hi. Were you the one that called in?
Huh?
Did you call in?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you want to explain to me kind of what's going on?
Dominic, you can get inside with me? Yes. So we're having trouble with this guy over here.
This one or this one? This one. What are you doing, man? Playing with your friends? Okay.
Well, you know, the thing is that she's a girl.
Okay.
And she was here. They're home because we work.
Right.
So this is not the first time that it happens. He is like out of the house to go see her.
Okay.
We talked to him. He's not listening. The other night he went out and it was like 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So today she was here and he called us and hey, you know what, she's here and this and that. So we tried to talk to the parents of her parents, but she didn't want to give us that.
Okay.
So I think she called the dad and he came over to take her home.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, she's not supposed to be here. We didn't know that she was here.
Okay.
So I think the main reason that my husband called you guys is so you can talk to him and explain that it's not something that we are making up, that he can get in trouble if
Okay.
something happened, you know,
Okay.
and I don't know.
Do you mind if I just get your name and date of birth real quick?
And your day of birth. The 50.
Explain to me what your situation is with Cassidy.
Me and her were friends when I started junior high. I had friends that introduced me to school.
Okay.
So, a few weeks, we decided to get some of my friends over here.
Okay.
And ever since, we came over here and hanged over. me
Okay.
and my brother.
So how come Cassidy was over here alone today?
She told me that she can come over here.
Mm-hmm.
And then me, my brother, and me were playing, but then he decided to go into
Okay. So what do you guys normally do when you have people over here?
hide and seek, tag. I don't know the other things, but we usually do hide and seek, tag, freeze tag, or
So are you trying to spend alone time with Cassidy? Are you guys dating? Are you
no,
anything like that? Okay, so is she deliberately trying to be alone with you versus not telling her dad where she's at or her parents? Did you talk to either one of her parents when she came over? Did they say anything to her? Was she in trouble?
That's what she was. They didn't say anything to me.
Okay, so do they know your parents? Have they talked to them before?
Just today.
Just today? Okay. So was it Cassidy that wasn't giving the phone number to your mom for her parents? Okay.
Because she didn't,
She didn't know it?
I think.
Okay. Well, I feel like she should probably know her parents' phone number.
I technically only know my dad's. I don't know my mom's.
Okay.
Because she changes.
Okay. Does she have her own phone?
Yeah.
Okay. So you do understand when you're sneaking out, your mom said you're sneaking out past 10 o'clock. There is curfews. You can get in trouble. There's still ways to be punished beyond just your parents, right? You understand that? Okay, so where are you going when you're sneaking out at 10 o'clock?
I mean, I go out here, but I haven't been to her house.
Okay, well, where else do you go?
Just here. And I could go down the street, but I didn't. I only went outside into the mailbox and came back.
Okay, well, how many times have you snuck out then?
Just today. Not today when I snuck out.
Okay, so only one time so far?
Yeah.
Okay, are you gonna sneak out again? Okay, so why'd you want to go outside so late at night? Are you gonna meet with anybody? Is anybody coming to hang out with you? No? Okay. So why does your mom seem to think that that's what's happening?
I mean, I did get out, but I didn't go anywhere.
Okay, but what were you doing? Like, what was your reason for wanting to come outside and worry your parents, I should say?
I don't know. I just wanted to come outside. I don't know why.
Okay.
But then they said, what were you trying to do? I wasn't doing anything.
Okay, well, why do they seem to think you're doing something? Have you ever gotten in
Because
trouble
of
doing
work.
anything?
When I snuck out, well, I didn't technically sneak out. I asked them, and I was supposed to go to Mountain Meadows, and I hang out, and just with me and my brother, but then I hang out with my other
Okay.
nephew.
How old's your brother?
11, he's gonna be turning 12 soon.
Okay, and you're 13?
Yeah.
Okay. What grade are you in?
8th?
Okay, are you doing online school then right now?
Looks like.
Okay. So you met Cassidy through school whenever you did go to school?
Yeah, when I first went to junior high
Okay.
on 7th grade.
So how long have you lived up here? A long
I think
time?
It's 1 year, I think.
Just a year? Okay. Where would you come from before this?
When I came here before this, I was in Tonopah.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. So has it been, have you ever gotten in trouble down there for sneaking out or with any of the other kids? Is your
I
mom?
did go to one of my brother's friends, but I told him that we can't. They said,
Okay.
but then he got mad, which I felt bad, so we just went. Then I took all the blame.
Okay. So, as far as from a law enforcement standpoint, you're not doing anything wrong by playing with your friends and having them over. Obviously, you guys are going to get in trouble with your parents if they're not aware of what's going on. If your parents are telling you not to be alone with them, then obviously you can't be alone with them. You do understand their concerns of why they don't want you to be alone, right? You know what happens as teenagers get older and spend time alone together. It's pretty obvious, right? So, We obviously don't want that to happen because you guys are all way too young for age of consent. That's where law enforcement comes in. If anything goes beyond just hanging out, playing, being friends, you can get into trouble at that point. I think that's what your mom wants you to understand, is that we do get involved in that. And this sort of conversation now is going to be noted that we've had this talk. So come in the future, if I have to come back and have this talk, probably not going to be as nice that time. Okay? So as far as sneaking out, don't. That's a given, right? Okay, there's a curfew. So, past the age, or out like 10 o'clock at your age, you're gonna encounter law enforcement. Somebody is gonna see you out and about. They're gonna come talk to you. They're gonna come take you home to your parents. And I don't think your parents are gonna be super happy if you get brought home by police, right? So there's really honestly nothing to do up here after 10 o'clock anyway.
Yeah.
Nothing's open. So you have really no reason to be out, you know what I mean? So burn off your energy, before that time when you're allowed to be out and about. Do you have a cell phone? No?
I want to, but I can't.
Okay.
Yet.
Well, do you have
16.
any other way to keep in touch with your friends when you're not physically with them?
On my computer, when
Okay.
I go on Outlook.
There you go. Okay,
Is
so
where I can send emails to my teacher if I have problems.
okay.
But
So
then we have the Zooms and all that stuff. I
Okay.
can just go on in office hours.
okay. So after 10 o'clock when nothing is open and you have no reason to be out and about, you've got a computer, you have ways to stay in touch with your friends if it's that big of a deal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know you understand why your mom's doing this, and I know that sometimes as teenagers it seems like they're being a little bit dramatic, but she wants to make sure that this doesn't happen on bad terms. It's better for me to come talk to you now and us talk about like her being over here alone and sneaking over here and getting in trouble is ultimately going to get you in trouble, So even if you're, like you said, the time that you were in Tonopah when you went to your brother's friends and you're like, hey, we shouldn't do this, you obviously know right and wrong. You know what you need to be doing. So I don't think that we need to have a really super long talk here, because I think that you understand the main point that I want to stress to you is about being alone as far as consent things happen, because you guys are too young for that kind of
Stuff.
engagements. Yes, stuff. So that too, let's not get involved in that. So like I said, it seems like you understand all the reasons why I'm here and why your mom called or your dad called. Dad. Okay, is Dad home right now?
No, he went to an appointment, I think.
Okay.
I don't know for what.
So make sure that you're making sure your parents know when Cassidy or any of your other girlfriends come over or anything like that. If you have anybody come over and they're not home, because obviously they work and you have to stay home and do school, don't be secretive, because that's going to get you in a lot more trouble, right? So let's make sure that they know that you guys aren't sneaking out past curfew, because at the point that you're sneaking out past curfew and you're getting caught and you're getting in trouble, you're getting arrested. That's where you're going to head. And you said you haven't ever been in trouble with law enforcement? Okay.
No, once when I ran away.
Okay, why did you run away?
I have actually.
How old were you?
Either 11 or 12.
Where'd you go?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
When the fair was.
Okay. Okay. So you have run away before, and did police bring you back then?
No, my mom.
Your mom got you? Okay. Did she call the police then?
I think it was no, they actually called the police before.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So it's probably not a good thing, right? You don't want to keep getting in trouble and doing those kind of things. You can't be taken off whenever you want. Fortunately, you got 5 more years so you can make your own decisions, right?
Yeah.
So let's not have this conversation again. Let's not make me come back here. Let's not make your parents upset by lying or sneaking around, because they seem pretty reasonable. They seem okay with you having friends and everything. So once I finish with that juvenile call, I have to attach them to all of our new information calls. So after running him, I realized he's not been entirely honest with me. We talked about him being alone with females and other people of the opposite sex or anything like that where his parents aren't aware. So once I looked him up in our system, it shows that he was connected to a different sex offense a couple years ago regarding a female. So his parents weren't entirely honest about the reason why they were so concerned that he was alone with a girl, and he brought none of these things up. He mentioned once running away, but other than that said he's never been in trouble before. So come to find out that he's been a suspect for a sex offense.
Your son, who is 13 years of age, has a steak knife and is trying to harm her husband and their 6-year-old son. She stated that Juvenile does have mental health issues similar to autism. She stated he's currently in the kitchen with a knife still, and the subject he's threatening to harm are locked in the bedroom. She's requesting that deputy response.
Copying. Can you get a second throw my way, please? Is this your son?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was his name? Still has the knife. He's in here by himself, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And has he ever done anything with this before?
He threatened himself.
Looks like a SWAT team.
Okay. Let's give me that knife. Yes. Do you have the keys for this?
Arrival.